Good to see you, champ, again. In this session, we would be looking at something really interesting. So let's dive into the world of programming. Do you know what a program is exactly? A program is a set of information that tells a computer to do a task. Everything a computer does is done by using a program. A computer program is usually written in programming languages such as VB.NET, C#, F#, etc. Have you noticed something in the structure of VB.NET? Yes, you got it, buddy. In VB.NET, lines do not end with a semicolon. Compared to most other languages, it is kept simple as clear. Your code is in between the submain and end sub. I hope so you understood the structure of the VB.NET program. On the other hand, let's see each term in the structure of the VB.NET program. Moving further, let's start with the initial term in the structure. Modules are a division of code, which can contain any kind of object, like variables, classes, etc. VB.NET is an object-oriented language. Hence we must have a class module in every program. Here, we have declared a module named Visual Basic. Inside this module, you will be able to define the data and classes and objects to be used by your program. Submain. It defines a subroutine called main. Main is the entry point, where the program begins execution. This marks the entry point in all VB.NET programs. Console.WriteLine. This statement performs the actual task of writing the output. This statement makes the program print the text on the console when executed. Console.WriteKey. This statement will prevent the screen from exiting soon after the program has been executed. The screen will pause and wait for the user to perform an action to close it. End sub and end module. Both lines are used for closing and ending the statement. We have traversed through a lot of explanations of structure-related stuff. So let's go through some of the important points learned in this topic so far. This topic provided an overview of the syntax of the Visual Basic.NET language. Visual Basic has a very simple programming syntax. Most of the code is easily understandable, even if you are not familiar with programming. The language is not case-sensitive. Let's start with, how can we tell the computer to print a particular statement on a screen? Suppose we have to print a statement my first Visual Basic program. Let's see further how to construct a print statement in VB.NET. So before moving ahead, let us remember the command used for printing a text or statement in VB.NET is Following the syntax of VB.NET program, let's complete our first program. Wow! That's great! So we have successfully executed our first program. Let me clear you, this is one of the most important aspects in programming. In programming, a comment is a programmer-readable explanation in a computer program. They are added with the purpose of making the code easier for humans to understand. The main reason for including comments in programming languages is to improve the flexibility and maintainability of a code. Comments should be used only for portions of code that are difficult to understand. In VB.NET, we begin our comments with an apostrophe, and then write that you use comments only for portions of code that are difficult to understand. For example, If the comment is very long, break the piece of a line into some parts. Instead of writing like this: James Maxwell, Microsoft Company, DOB December 2, 1880 10:21 and 57 seconds p.m. Break into different lines like this: James Maxwell, Microsoft Company, DOB December 2, 1880 10:21 and 57 seconds p.m.